Bears Nightly episode. Should you, as a Chicago Bears fan, believe in a continuity plan from Ryan Poles? Y'all know we're going to talk about Matt Eberflus, but you already know. We're going to jump into this intro first.
You're now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Chicago Bears Central. Got the whole squad with me. Haize C-Dubb, Steve-O, Big Kev in the building. How y'all doing, man?
Feeling great. Feeling great.
Yes,
Friday
sir. For y'all
Eve.
that's tuning in, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and follow the number one spot on all social media platforms at Chi Bears Central. Now, we seen the press conferences. We've been dropping content as it's been coming in, and we're going to keep dropping it and putting it out. But we heard the word continuity before when it comes to one of our other Chicago teams, and it ain't been too pleasant, I'll be honest. But we hear the continuity is coming out of the Bears organization now. So, C-Dubb, coming to you first. Are you a believer in Ryan Poles' continuity plan?
I guess I'm stuck being a believer. So just to answer the question, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna believe in his continuity. I think the positive changes that he did to this roster outweighs the bad, and I think it's few. And I think it's a few bad things that happen through his watch. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go ahead and believe in him in his continuity. You know what I'm saying? But I got my eyes open. Bro.
Who want to take it next?
So the definition of continuity, technical definition, is the unbroken and consistent existence or operation of something over a period of time. I mean, I guess if you look at the Bears and them being not good, that's continuity right there. But hopefully with Ryan Poles, I don't know, man, like we don't know if he's deciding to stick with Justin Fields or not. I don't know what continuity he's talking about, to be honest, man. His team hasn't been winning, so I just don't know where they're going with that word, to be honest. That's just how I feel.
That professional ass answer.
You don't care if got the professional answer.
Like I would rather push back and say there is a sense of continuity going on here because I told y'all right around that game we won against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm like, this dude ain't lost the locker room. He just simply has not lost the locker room. And everybody on that defense as well as the offense believe and hang on every word they say. Like I told Coach T earlier, if you look at any of those games where we won when they had the talk afterwards, the main thing I looked at was body language. Everybody was staring at Poles. Everybody body was towards Poles. They was listening to every word they said, and they broke down together. They wasn't around getting addressed by themselves. They weren't around walking around. When he was talking, people wasn't moving. They was paying attention. And I was like, man, as much as I think what the thing is, we're crucifying the PR of the head coach because he's been terrible with the media. That's one thing we can't say when it comes to the things that's come out. He don't know how to talk with the media. His PR is not that good. But when behind those closed doors, them players do believe in him and the words he says. And we also got to take into account that we're not what he came in and said he was going to do. He's not being asked to do the same exact things. He wasn't coming in thinking he was going to be a play caller. Now he's play calling, and furthermore, now he's going to be play calling still. So, yeah, you got to give him the blame for picking his staff, but in the same vein, we can't sit here and give Justin so much of reason why he couldn't succeed and not give him the same thing.
For sure. Haize, how you looking at it?
I look at it like this. There's a difference between continuity and stagnation, right? And I think that we're not staying stagnant. Staying stagnant would have been keeping Luke Getsy on as the offensive coordinator on top of not changing the head coach. So we're bringing continuity, meaning that we're keeping the things that were working. And Matt Eberflus, it hasn't worked perfectly as a head coach. I'm not saying that, but he does have that locker room. And that is something that you want to try to build upon if you can. And so bringing in a new offensive coordinator that's going to hopefully change this offense, bring out more of it than what Luke Getsy could. It means that we're having continuity without stagnating, and I think that's the key to it. Like when we talk about continuity with the Chicago Bulls, for example, the problem is that team had the same exact flaws. Hopefully, we're eliminating some of those flaws by bringing in new coordinators, which will eliminate the stagnation part of it and just make it the positive continuity to build on.
I agree with all you guys. I think that is very important to just look at it for what it is. Let's keep it a buck. I got emotional. Hell, we lost to the Packers. But if we lost to any other team that it wasn't the Packers, we wouldn't be saying, Matt Eberflus, pack your shit. So I got to look at myself, hold myself accountable. Like, bro, he really, your head coach improved, your defense improved, your offensive talent for the most part improved, and you see an improvement all around. You got a guy and DJ Moore, who had a career year. Cole Kmet was on his way, and then you still seen a lot of positive things. And the thing that I always go back to when we talk about Ryan Poles is that his mistakes, he's been quick to move off of them. I know it's been a lot of people that have been wanting Lou Getsy fired since like the Broncos game or whatever game earlier in the season, but I don't think, I kind of feel like, who is he really going to turn to? You know what I'm saying? On that coaching staff, it was going to be some people that was like, well, give Andrew Janoku a chance. But I'm like, bro, we don't even know if he can come out and do a better job. So I feel like he had, in a way, had to stick out the offensive coordinator, let him stay in his job, because who is you really going to turn to? You're not going to host interviews during the season, and it ain't like Matt Eberflus is an offensive coordinator. So you had to kind of stick it out with that.
So, Bobby, I'm going to say, and thank you guys for everything that you all have said, but I would have a better grasp on what I think he's trying to say if they give us a true statement about Justin Fields. Because that's where the continuity needs to come into play for me, is if we're going to give this young fella a chance to prove that he can play this position. But then again, he got another offensive system to have to learn again, and that's not continuity. That's 3 out of 4 of his 4 years where he's going to have to learn a new offense. So, like I said earlier, man, it's just difficult to understand where they're coming from besides keeping Eberflus, unless they want us to believe in a continuity of not winning.
That's a great point. Oh, that's a great point, Kev. Because you speak about continuity, quarterback being the most important position in NFL, maybe the most important position in sports. If you change the quarterback, go to Caleb or Drake May, what kind of continuity is that? So I think that's a great point, Kev. That's a great point.
But this the thing I think a lot of people need to realize. One of the key things I wanted y'all to look at is we fired everybody on the offensive coach staff except 2 people. And those 2 people is Simo, which was our O-line coach, and our tight end coach. And no matter what, that shows me that you're not going to too much change the scheme up too much, because that's where how you start off the scheme is due to the protection. And then you come out and say you're looking at Shane Waldron. Hey, they was at the same place when they was in the Redskins. They're Sean McVay babies alongside the Shanahan babies. So they all come from that tree. So we already know the run game is not going to change. So to me, if they're smart, the offensive coordinator that's coming in next is strictly finna fix up the passing game, because you don't have to change up too much of the protection. Whereas if you got rid of everybody, then I get what you're saying with the continuity. But it's always going to be continuity once you keep a core value of that coaching staff there, which is Simo and the tight end coach.
Yeah, and I think that Haize said it perfectly early on the Daily. He was like, it's not like you can't have somebody come in and install things that caters to Justin Fields' strengths, like we've been telling Luke Getsy to do. Because like Lamar Jackson, he got him a new OC, but some of the same things he was running with Greg Roman is still prevalent within the offensive playbook, on how Lamar Jackson operates within the run game, but then he added on to that. So I believe that the Bears, when they really go out, and if Justin is still the guy, he got to be able to take things that work, listen to him, work with his strengths, listen to your players at least, and install things and bring them along. I think if you throw too much on them early when the season starts, it could be a bit shaky. But if you continuously, you don't say this is our week 1 through week 4 game plan, and after that we're gonna keep on just adding. It's kind of like how the Ravens been doing, and that they've been dominant. But go ahead, Haize.
No, I mean I agree with everything you said. Like it's I think some fans look at this as changing the offensive coordinator and think like, oh my God, everything has to be new. I've seen comments in the channel. It's going to be another year or 2 before we can evaluate Justin Fields if we bring in a new offensive coordinator. It's like, no, that's not how it works. These guys are learning new things every single week. And even in having the same offensive coordinator, you're learning probably about 50 to 100 new plays every single year, every single season. So at the end of the day, bringing in an offensive coordinator for a pro isn't as big of a deal as people make it. And then even with that said, some people are talking about bringing in a rookie quarterback. You think that they're not going to have to learn a new system? We got to get over these barriers that we place that just aren't realistic. These are pros. They can learn a new job. We learn new. It takes 90 days for us to be trained and learn a new job before we're off probation. You think football players can't do that? We got to get off that, fam. We got to get off that.
Yeah, and that's facts. I don't think it's gonna take another 2 years to evaluate Justin Fields. Justin Fields is on the clock for me personally. They got him DJ Moore. He made some strides this year, but he definitely didn't do everything the right way. He's still holding that ball a little bit too long, going through his reads. He's missing open receivers in some cases too. But again, a lot of that had to do with Getsy and the scheme that he called as well. So if we give him a competent offensive coordinator, all bets are off. Like this whole coddling Justin Fields thing it's over for me. It's showing prove time. It's showing. I don't care who the offensive coordinator is. I don't care what the scheme is. You got to go out there and perform. It's time to do it.
Like I said earlier with me and Coach T, 4 to 6 weeks. I give you 4 to 6 weeks. That's all you need. Because like I said, based off what I'm seeing, you're not changing much. All you're doing is changing the passing game, and Justin can learn the passing game. I have no, even if he, like what Haize just said, it's not that difficult, especially if you have a high IQ player like a Justin Fields or coaches around him to learn a new scheme. It's really not that hard, especially if you really do your due diligence in the offseason and take time to learn it. I think a lot of people, especially with us, they look at the Chase Claypool situation. That motherfucker struggles to read anything.
Well, he's just stupid.
That's the thing. Like that's a whole different situation. Like he can't grasp. It took him a minute to grasp the Philly scheme. It took him forever. He still ain't grasped Miami. So we got to stop looking at certain situations and think that's everybody. Everybody's not like that.
So my thing is this, and another reason why Justin Fields is on the clock is that the Bears are probably going to have another top pick next year based on what they do with this pick. If they decide to keep Justin Fields, it's a good chance that they're going to be in position to draft a quarterback next season as well, just like they've been for the last 2 seasons.
C-Dubb, you want to get in now?
Oh, no. I'm good. I'm listening to the fellas.
Soaking up knowledge. Cheers for that. I choose for that. Something to say.
This is I think the point that's most important in all of this, right? Is that Ryan Poles saw something that was limiting his team. And to credit, if we're just being fair and objective, that's not to say that Eberflus doesn't have every coach has their shortcomings, right? But the thing that was limiting this team, even more than Matt Eberflus' shortcomings, was the offensive coordinator. He eliminated that. You got to bring in somebody different, and you got to bring in a defensive coordinator anyway, who's hopefully you can find somebody to help shore up some of the things that Matt Eberflus is missing. So I think
especially late game situations.
In late game situational awareness, Matt Eberflus does not have right now. And so I really hope that they go after some veteran defensive coordinators and some guys that have really done it for a while there, especially with play calling, which I did the video today on 4 possible replacements for Alan Williams. But I think ultimately it just comes down to this when you're looking at the Bears' future. We knew that this was a rebuild, and Matt Eberflus is still under contract. And just like with Justin, just like with any young player, he can still progress as a head coach as well. But guess what? It's not like they signed him to a 5-year guaranteed deal. Listen, you shore up some things, you get some good coordinators in here, and I hope, and they're looking at coordinators and saying, hey, if we do need to pivot for Matt Eberflus, well, maybe one of these guys could be ready. And that's the route to go if you're trying to look at now and then look in the future. I'd be looking at both those aspects of things.
Yeah, me personally, and this is gonna be my final thing. I'm just happy that they looking at guys with experience now, at least to early start. I think it's a good start to where you look at it because we seen, you know what I'm saying, Luke Getsy and panic when he was down a touchdown. He panics early in the game, and you know what I'm saying, early film from Shane Waldron, he don't panic. Early film, you know what I'm saying, still got to do deeper diving. So I like what they're particularly looking at thus far, and we'll pretty much see where it's going to go from there. We haven't really heard many names when it comes to defensive coordinators, but I'm anxious to see because I believe that Poles is definitely going to have his hands up in this. He's not finna let
Eberflus.
just Matt
Eberflus
Eberflus
can't
do it all
decide.
by
Yeah.
himself.
No,
Yeah.
no, please no, no.
So
I
with
think that's
all
what
the
showed us. That
Go ahead.
showed us what they did because they fired literally everybody but two people.
bro, yeah,
They fired. And the funny thing is, the more research I did, guess he wasn't even the worst coach on this team.
who was the
You
worst?
know what?
Who was worse?
The fucking wide receiver coach.
Yeah,
I
that
think
got to
you
be
might have
it.
a point.
No
No,
might have
And
a
separation.
point.
the reason I know this is because DJ Moore, like tech like or fundamentally wise, his fucking shit sucks. But he just nice. It don't
His
matter.
technique.
He's so good. His technique, everybody
no,
on this
I
team,
ain't
rolling with that,
his
Steve-O.
technique is garbage. I'm telling you.
No,
If
I ain't
you
doing
look-
DJ like that, gang. No,
I'm
no,
not.
no,
It's
no.
not. No,
Wait,
it's
wait, wait.
credit
It's not
to
a slight.
DJ.
He's not saying. No, he's
No, I
saying that
wanna
the
hear that.
routes that they gave DJ Moore was trash. Not DJ Moore's trash.
No, the
C-Dubb.
route.
He
He's saying
said
the route-
DJ Moore's
No,
technique
his
is trash.
Period. Not just
You saying
route.
his technique is trash?
Bro,
That's
majority.
trash. What he just
Everybody.
said.
No,
That's
everybody
trash.
on this, everybody that's catching a ball on wide receiver is the way they break routes is slow as fuck, and you know that's the reason why Justin is sitting back going slow because he's sitting waiting for that break to happen. It's so slow is because the wide receivers tell it's like you're running too lackadaisical. You almost got to run up to the DB like you about to fight, then break. They're in that mug. I'm telling you, if you watch the tape, all tech fundamentally wise. All our wide receivers trash. But because DJ is so good, it doesn't matter.
I can't do DJ like that. I understand what you're trying to say, but DJ is one of the top tier route runners in this NFL. I know what you're trying to say.
That's not saying
just
technique is trash.
technique
You can have nice routes and your techniques could be trash.
You got to explain the technique in the route.
So the technique will be the way you run the route. You can run it nice and it's gonna look good, but against outside leverage, you do different things against outside leverage than you do against inside leverage, or when the man is square up. So that's what he probably talking about when it comes to
the way
the
way they're close to people, how close they are to people, the way they break their routes, the way they manipulate the defense. Like one of the first thing they teach you to be a wide receiver is how to manipulate the defense. We don't do much manipulation with our body because we're just too busy trying to execute the play. And because the play and the scheme and the wide receiver car is so bad, you don't get. That's why the reason why Green Bay killed us is because their technique is almost pitch perfect. They're not talented. They're not talented us, but that's why they was college wide open.
Does that include the length of a route? Is that what is the length of a route?
Is that too? The length of the route, how you break down the route, how you manipulate your body to manipulate the DB to fake where you want to go. All that goes inside with your technique. And DJ is killing because one thing this coaching staff ain't teaching him is lay hands. He has decent feet already. It could be cleaner, but he already has decent feet and he has amazing hands. And he's physically, he got everything you need as a wide receiver. But let somebody that really know how to coach the wide receiver position, he getting that 1,200, 1,300 yard career. I guarantee.
Look at what the wide receivers in Houston were able to do, and I hate to do it because people are always bringing up CJ Stroud.
No, that's a good example. Kev.
Yeah,
it is good.
But look at what they were able to do this year, and we didn't know none of their names coming into the season, and these guys went out there and helped CJ Stroud make it to the playoffs. So I get where you coming from, Steve-O and Bobby.
Yeah, I understand that. I definitely
understand. I ain't saying DJ trash. I'm saying the coach was trash.
And I think that when you talk about technique, before we move on, this is gonna be my last point. When you talk about technique, your technique helps you create separation. We in multiple games, because you can, if you sitting in the zone and you backpedaling, but your route doesn't dictate you run past them, you need solid technique to break inside or out. And that'll be my last point.
I got one question to ask Doug, and this is where I'm gonna get him. How many perfect passes did Justin have to make this year?
He made some perfect passes, but also DJ Moore was wide open a lot of times too, with some great technique.
Was he? Yeah. Was he always that open versus like how
not always,
open?
sometimes.
But that's my point. When Green Bay gets open, they're wide the fuck open. We be a NFL open. NFL open and college open is different.
I will say
Sunday,
this,
that was in that was college open.
We're gonna move it on though. Say
real quick. It's also the play calling, and I see the comments coming in. Like if the defense ain't got to do nothing but guard the sidelines, and they don't have to play the middle, it don't matter how good your route is. They got the safety help over the top.
That's
and
a fact as well.
They just ready for it. So
yeah, true.
That's fair. But I want to talk about switch on over to Matt Eberflus specifically. I know it's been a lot of, let's go get hardball. We seen Mike Vrabel become available. Now Bill Belichick is out there and Pete Carroll is out there and a bunch of other high-profile coordinators who could have been first-time OCs. How y'all feeling about, I'm going to start with Haize first. How you feeling about the Bears pretty much saying, hey, this is, Flus is our guy. We're going to continue to move with him. And do you think that the Bears would kind of regret the decision or do you think it was the right decision? Like, what are your feelings on that whole thing? Because Pose pretty much came out and said, no, I didn't talk to Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is Michigan's coach. So how you feeling about it?
The way that I look at it, outside of the contacting Harbaugh or not, it's the 2 days that they were talking about before they made this decision, right? So that to me says that somebody in that room of the executives, or a few of them, was basically saying, let's get Matt Eberflus the fuck up out of here. And whether it was Kevin Warren, whether it was Pose, whoever it was, vouch for this man. So there's something that they're seeing in Matt Eberflus that they believe he may be the guy. Maybe it is just the continuity. Maybe it is the way that the locker room rocks with him. Maybe it's all a combination of all those things. But the way that I look at it is this, and we've had these conversations here. To me, if you're making this move to be a playoff team, I have not personally seen enough from Matt Eberflus that I trust him to be the coach to lead the Bears in the playoffs. Now, again, I only know what I see on the football on the TV screen. 17 weeks out the year, they're there with him every single day in practices, everything like that. I don't get to see that shit. But from what I've seen, I'm highly concerned that they got too caught up in potential and lost the sight of an opportunity to really reset the deck coaching wise. Now, there's a lot of reasons why you may not want to reset the deck. But to me, I feel like this may be something we end up regretting unless, like I said before, somebody in that room they realize that the person they want as head coach or somebody they think could be the next head coach is going to end up being one of our coordinators. But other than that, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm a little concerned. I'm going to be 100% honest.
Who want to take it next?
Hey, I'm gonna say I'm really concerned as well because when you look back at the previous season that we just had, when it comes winning time, could you call this guy a winner? Some of his decisions is just porous. It's just porous. So I definitely have those same concerns that Drip has, and I'm gonna give him a chance, absolutely, because I think he deserved it the way he turned around that defense and the team is playing for him and stuff like that. But I do have questions about when it's winning time, can he be that one to lead us to victory and make the right decisions and right adjustments and things like that?
For sure. Big Kev?
I don't trust Eberflus at all. Like, not even a little bit. He hired all these guys that got fired. He hired brought the defensive coordinator over here with him, and we don't know what happened that led to his exit. And then he's allowing my man Getsy to go out there and do what he did this season, which was basically sabotage Justin Fields' season. It felt like sometimes that he was intentionally trying to make Justin Fields look bad. That's all on Flus. So this season, he's on a shorter leash than Justin Fields is this upcoming season, to me. If the Bears come out and go 0-3, 1-4, whatever, he should not make it to week 5. He shouldn't. But that's just how I feel.
Oh, you got a short leash for sure.
Yeah, definitely. How you looking at it all?
I do believe he got a shorter leash, but I'm just not. I gotta see. I'm not gonna say anything as a fact now because I need to see who the next staff is because I admittedly knew it wasn't gonna be good when we saw the staff. I was like, it's too many people that are young and haven't the experience to do things. things. And what happens in that when you have a rookie head coach that's still developing, you don't have this person that come through to be like, all right, coach, this is what I think you should do. Because like you said, all y'all are trying to do what y'all trying to do. But if you bring in that balance of, like I said, that's why I'm praying this OC is a vet. When you have somebody that's been in the league just as long as you have, you can go to them and be like, all right, coach, this is what I'm feeling. You could do it this way because back in 2005, when we played against this team, they showed me this and I could do that. I already knew Luke, like when Luke came here, it was yeah, he was Luke in this bitch. He was Luke. But I knew like it was gonna make him look bad immediately because I was like, yeah, you got somebody in, and because the way his choicing of picking Getsy was wrong. He picked him because that was a defense that was a offense he struggled against, but he didn't do his due diligence and seeing is this the guy that know how to teach that offense, even if he's the ones to help develop people in that offense. So yeah, you done screwed up your chance to bring in your new staff. That's gonna be between Getsy and Warren, and maybe a little slight input of you. But at the end of the day, your microscope is probably like Kev said, more than Justin, and you have the least amount of mistakes to have. We gotta make the playoffs. That's what it is. Playoffs are not
for sure. 100%.
Hiring Luke Getsy. Hiring Luke Getsy would have been, is tantamount to if you have a room of people who invented the internet, let's just say that. But the person who was in the room, but all his job was to take out the trash, but you hired him because he was in the room thinking he's gonna help invent some shit. The motherfucker was just there. Like you wanted him to come in and run an offense, and you saw the offense, but you didn't do, like to Steve-O's point, you didn't do your due diligence to realize this motherfucker was a QB coach of a Hall of Fame quarterback. What the fuck was he doing? Nothing.
Nothing.
Getting him his fucking water bottle. That's what Luke Getsy's job was.
Hey, like, did you see that Jordy Nelson was open?
So basically Al Gore.
Basically Gore. And our offensive coordinator.
And that's why he's getting the most of. That's why the eyeglass is going to be on him.
That's like saying because I podcast all the goddamn time, and my dog's always over there laying down. Y'all don't even know the motherfuckers in the room. Somebody be like, "Hey, that motherfucker's around some podcasts. I bet you that dog can podcast." Nigga,
what? We got breaking news. Well, it's decent, but the Bears have requested to interview Clint Kubiak, another great.
It was on my list for today. I mean,
that's my list.
That's another really good.
I'm loving it. I love that. That they going at their experience, and I love what the Kubiaks do as a totality. Yeah. So that's just coming out right now. So good. Shout out to them. We shall see what happens, man.
Hey, I'm looking at a list real quick. I just gotta say, did you know ranking and play calling this season, Luke Getsy was last?
Yep, seen that.
I knew that. I didn't even know it was a list, and I knew that.
Is there a stat that's worse than last? Because he was worse than that.
Dumpster.
Bro, this should tell you, Kev. He was underneath. What's the dude that got fired in Denver?
Oh yeah,
Nat Hackett.
Yeah, Nathaniel Hackett. He's under Hackett.
Steve-O, guess where they both from?
Green Bay.
Should we say more?
Ricky ass, green ass, dookie ass.
Guess where both of those guys came from? Green Bay. Like it ain't, you know.
But yeah, Clint Kubiak is probably
I like him
third or fourth on my list, but I like that. Shane is second. I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it seems like the Bears are focused on bringing in A+ quality coordinators. They're not just going to grab somebody off the scrap heap up in cheese curd country.
Facts. And that's something that we said when we first, started the whole thing, take us back. But we was like, man, you hire Matt Eberflus and he got a rookie offensive coordinator.
It never made sense. You had three people leading your team, your offense, and your defense, and none of the motherfuckers did it before.
No experience whatsoever.
And you just looking at all of them to help each other figure it the fuck out.
Yeah, bro.
That's like the
why we
equivalent
started
of
off so
somebody.
shitty.
Luke Getzey had never even seen a playbook, much less drawn up a play. And you
He's
gave
talking
him
about
that
he
this
man,
fucking
bro.
job.
He's
Bro.
talking about he never seen this play.
It's crazy, bro. They might as well have
That's
kept Nagy.
crazy. That's crazy.
nuts, man.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Motherfuckers got to spend 18, 50, 11 years in college to cut you open, and you giving a motherfucker off the street a job to lead your quarterback. Shut the fuck up, bro. We out of here.
I could have
Man.
told that motherfucker not to throw 5 screens
In a row.
I think that's what piss Pose off for sure.
That
Yo,
was
we
the
got
one.
a-
It was that day that Kevin Warren was in the box, and he was he was. That's when I knew there was no way Luke Getzey was returning. I don't give a fuck what nobody was saying.
It was the Denver
Before
game.
Kevin Warren was in that box, like, hey, who hired this motherfucker? Immediately that game, he probably was like, Pose, come here real quick. Did you didn't?
You approve this?
Eberflus approved. Bet, don't say nothing. Eberflus, when we get back to Chicago, step in my office.
Say less.
Bro, I swear that Denver game, Pose was happy that first half. It's a before and after. He's happy first half, hugging people, and then it says 3 hours later.
Bro. And you,
Hey, hold on.
Let's get this shit over with.
Let me shout love to Keys with the super chat real quick. As a Chicago born and raised Falcon fans, I watched that Kevin Warren interview, and I'm telling you, Fields is staying Pose about to fleece again.
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
to you. Thank you for supporting the channel, but y'all continue.
I'm done, bro. I'm done talking about this. Like, I didn't got myself frustrated again.
For sure. Anything? Nobody, nothing left?
No,
For
good.
sure.
man.
Bet. Well, thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. You can follow the show on all social media platforms at Shy Bear Central. If you want to call in for any questions, comments, concerns, and leave your take, call in 773-242-9336. Y'all already know. Chi-Town up and better hell down.
Hey, give B-Mace comment real quick.
We ended, Big Kev.
Oh, my bad.
Shout out to B-Base, man.
Shout out to B-Mace.